make sure the sound is PG because I know, man, Lord willing, this can hurry up. Hurry up. Lord willing, this can hurry up. Hurry up. Okay, so it actually is up. So, I'm going to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Kakwadash. Yahweh is the Most High God, and Yahushai is the world that he calls Jesus the Christ. The Rakakwadash is the Holy Spirit, the pillar of Hebrew. And double honors to the elder apostles and the elders of great millstone who rule well and teach well through the Spirit. Lord, one that they continue to endure and be sincere. And shalom to the hopeful elect that are scattered four corners of the earth in the same Spirit. Teach His word and believe in His word, Lord willing, that they can continue to endure and be sincere in the same Spirit. And shalom to the Akhbat Yom that are believers in His faith and His truth. Lord willing, that they continue to endure and be sincere and pursue their lot, which is being a loving and silent and virtuous wife, speaking to the Akhbat Yom. And Lord willing, the Most High have mercy on the other brothers and sisters that's not in the faith, right? You see that I can't really see. I can only see me or whatever. But this is a question towards Christians and anybody that probably don't really understand the scriptures and see it another way and this and that. It's really dealing with Acts, the first chapter, verse 6. I'm reading the KJV and the NLT. Lord willing. Lord willing. And I might do another video because I know I ain't gonna probably make this too long, right? But this is Acts chapter 1, verse 6 in the KJV. It says, verse 6, it says, when they therefore come together, they asked of him, saying, Lord, wilt thou at this time restore again the kingdom of Israel? In the NLT, it says, so when the apostles were with Yahushai, they kept asking him, Lord, has the time come for you to free Israel and restore our kingdom? Question you must ask, why, if all the other nations, we're not dealing with, even though I'm going to hop to other precepts that's going to deal with Israel being freed and other scriptures of the kingdom of Israel being restored, right? You have to ask yourself, oh, Shalom, Vietnamese, I see you. Vietnam, I said Vietnamese. Vietnam, I see you here. Anybody that think all people are going to be saved or salvation, how that looks, give the understanding of Acts chapter 1, verse 6. Why is it not talking about the other nations being freed and restoring their kingdom? Other nations that had kingdom, they were ruling in other places or they took over your land. This is direct towards one nation, one kingdom, and one people, which the apostles asking. Let's read it again, Acts 1 and 6 in the NLT. It says, so when the apostles were with Yahushua, they kept asking him, Lord, has the time come for you to free Israel and restore our kingdom? That's a question. I'm going to keep reading. It says, he replied, the Father alone has the authority to set those dates and times, and they are not for you to know, because it wasn't that time right there for Israel to be freed and restored. Because Israel at the time of Yahushua, and then when he left in the time of the apostles, they were in the hands of the Roman Empire, right? Following Daniel, the 7th chapter, which a lot of Christians and other people don't like to deal with prophecies. Your main life consists of prophecies. And then after that, it was a horn inside that fourth beast, which was considered America, the little horn, Daniel chapter 7, verse 8. Acts 1 and 8, it says, but you will receive power when the Rakakwadash comes upon you, and you will be my witnesses, telling people about me everywhere, in Jerusalem, throughout Judea, in Samaria, and to the ends of the earth. The apostles wasn't teaching in the ends of the earth yet. right? They were teaching in Jerusalem, Judea, and Samaria, right? The ends of the earth is where the children of Israel are right now, starting with America, right? What is it? North America and Central America, right? And Israel scattered four corners of the earth in lands they wasn't before and lands that they was before. So the whole point is Israel being restored. That's what the apostles they're teaching the gospel to the Israelites that are captive, right? So Lord willing, we can touch a few points. Just touch a few points, right? This is Exodus chapter 19 and verse 6. I'll start at verse 3, just to give you a little context. It says, and Moses went up unto God, and Yahweh called unto him out of the mountain, saying, thus shalt thou say to the house of Jacob, and tell the children of Israel, ye have seen what I did unto the Egyptians, and how I bare you on eagle wings, and brought you unto myself. Now therefore, if ye will obey my voice indeed, and keep my covenant, then ye shall be a peculiar treasure unto me above all people, for all the earth is mine. Now he just said, right, if we was to keep his covenant, we're going to be above all people. Let's think. Deuteronomy 28, verse 1. If we was to keep his laws, statutes, and commandments, we would be above all nations in the earth. We didn't, and those curses fell upon us. When the Lord comes back, you don't think that that's going to be in full effect? We're going to be above all nations? We still got to answer that question. Why or who? Like, what is this talking about? Is the other nations are going to rule in the kingdom of Israel? Is the other nations going to be free? Well, we got to figure that out. Verse 6, it says, ye shall be unto me a kingdom of priests and a holy nation. These are the words which thou shalt speak unto the children of Israel. There's no other nations where we see in the scriptures that is considered a holy nation. Holy is set apart, which goes into the ancient Paleo Hebrew word Kodash. There's only one nation that was considered holy. That was the nation of Israel, right? But hey, don't take my word for it. Let's see if we can get something else, right? Because we do got history and time when Solomon was ruling the nation of Israel, which is an example what they're asking in Acts chapter 1 verse 6. So when the apostles were with Yahushua, they kept asking him, Lord, has the time come for you to free Israel and restore our kingdom? What, the kingdom of old, right? Under the leadership, how it was under David and Solomon. But under Solomon, it was peace for 40 years. Right? This is Second Chronicles. No, it's Lucky. First Chronicles. First Chronicles 28 in verse 5. It says, and of all my sons, for Yahweh have given me many sons. He have chosen Solomon, my son, to sit upon the throne of the kingdom of Yahweh over Israel, right? Because it was David had many sons before Solomon, but Solomon was chosen. The Lord he already chose Solomon. But let me something just hit me in the head, right? When you go to, I believe it's 2 Samuel, the 7th chapter, go into verse 12, right? It says, and when thy days be fulfilled, and thou shalt sleep with thy fathers, I will set up thy seed after thee, which shall proceed out of thy bowels, and I will establish his kingdom. Talking about Solomon, but in a deeper sense, this is speaking on Yahushua. It says, he shall build a house for my name, and I will establish the throne of his kingdom forever. Now, yes, Solomon did build a house for the Lord, but everything, St. John 5 and 39, all scriptures lead to Yahushua. What is it? Heavenly Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Everything we have on the earth is a reflection of what's in the heaven. So who orchestrated that? Yahushua. It says that I will establish his throne. I will establish his throne of his kingdom forever. Did Solomon be on his throne forever? No, only for 40 years. It says, I will be his father and he shall be my son. Wait, hold on. Wait a second. Wait a second. So who was he talking about? Right? Because even this is even quoted again in the New Testament. Because didn't Yahushua even tell the Pharisees who did they call? Why did David call his Lord his son? Why did David call the Lord his son? You know, and they were so confounded, they didn't even know what to say, right? So it says, I will be his father, and he shall be my son. If he commit iniquity, I will chasten him with the rod of men and with the stripes of the children of men. Now, this is an indication. If you understand the history and the scriptures, did Solomon get chased with a rod? Did he get the stripes of men because of what he committed, the sin that he committed in the time when he was ruling? No, he did. Yahushua took that. And if you ever find that, this video is going to be posted, Lord willing. And if you got proof that Solomon got chastened with a rod and got the stripes of men, put that precept or chapter in the comment section and we'll read it. But from what I know and what I read, Solomon did not get the stripes of the children of men. That was Yahushua that got that, right? Let me see something real quick. Yeah, this is what I quoted earlier. This is Matthew chapter 3. I'm going to start at 13, but 17 is the point. It says, Then cometh Yahushua from Galilee to Jordan unto John, to be baptized of him. But John forbade him, saying, I have need to be baptized of thee, and comest thou to me? Yahushua answering said unto him, Suffer it to be so now, for thus it becometh us to fulfill all righteousness. Then he suffered him, and Yahushua, when he was baptized, went up straightway out of the water, and lo, the heavens were opened unto him, and he saw the Spirit of God descending like a dove, and lightning upon him. And lo, a voice from heaven saying, This is my beloved Son, in whom I am well pleased. Right? Almost the same thing that he said in the time of Solomon. Right? The Lord's true son is Yahushua. Yes, it is the sons of God, but the indication of how he's speaking in 2 Samuel, the 7th chapter, verse 14, I will be his father, he shall be my son. And we understand that Solomon came out the loins of David, even though later on Yahushua comes out the bowels, the sperma of David. But what did the Lord say? That Yahushua was his begotten son, right? From the heavens. Yes, he had an earthly mother and father, but in the heavens he was created by the Father. Yahushua is the beginning and the end of all creations, right? He is the beginning and the author of our faith. There's levels to this, right? There's levels to this. And dealing with the reincarnation, if I was here in my past life, I was who I was, and I had the same spirit. Yahushua was who he was when it comes in the spirit, but he was different people through the spirit. Adam, Isaac, and Solomon. And look at this. Now he's in the order of Melchizedek, right? Everybody has their role in this script. Now, if you don't get that, hey, I'm not here to make you understand this, because even when you go into the Pharisees and Sadducees, they thought John the Baptist was Hamashiach, or they thought he was Elijah. And John the Baptist said, no, I'm not him, because it's no remembrance of the things of old. So John, in the correct way, he didn't even know who he was in his past life. So he was right saying no. But they were thinking of the reincarnation, right? But you have some that don't, like the Sadducees. They don't believe in a resurrection. They don't believe in the spirits, right? But then you have some that do. So it's levels to this, right? Let's go to another one. Let's see if we can get another one real quick, just to line up with that. Matthew 11. in 12. I'm going to start at 11. It says, Verily I say unto you, among them that are born of women, there have not risen a greater than John the Baptist. Notwithstanding, he that is least in the kingdom of heaven is greater than he. Now, who John was on the earth, whenever the kingdom is established, whoever is the least in the kingdom of heaven, talking about the Israelites, is going to be greater than what John was in this time living in the earth. And who really gonna be the least in the kingdom? Since a lot of people don't agree with the 2/3 coming back, the 2/3 are going to be the least of the nation. They didn't get beamed up. They had to come through the loins of men. I get that. I understand that. But hey, if you don't, I'm not here to make you. Verse 12, it says, And from the days of John the Baptist until now, the kingdom of heaven suffereth violence, and the violent take it by force. Right? You have to understand, it's really us that's suffering, right? Because a kingdom, a country, a land, it's the people before the place, right? When it even says that, what did it say? The land commits sin or is polluted. It's not the place, the country, or the animals that pollute. It's the people that pollute. It's us living in this flesh. Animals don't have this carnal flesh. They don't got this flesh that goes off. They're an animal, a plant. They all follow the orders of the Lord. Let alone when we raise an animal a certain way, this is why animals become vicious. It's because of man, right? Really, animals supposed to be scared of us, right? I want to get some more, but let's get this right here, and then I'm gonna go somewhere else. This is Luke 22, verse 30. Right? It's another indication, because if the Christian church is saying the other nation is going to be saved, we have to speak on this point right here. This is Luke 22 and verse 30. It says that ye may eat and drink. Let me start at 27. It says, For whether it is greater, he that sitteth at meat and he that serveth. It's not he that sitteth at meat, but I am among you as he that serveth. Ye are they which have continued with me in my temptation, and I appoint unto you a kingdom, as my Father have appointed unto me, that ye may eat and drink at my table in my kingdom, and sit on thrones, judging the 12 tribes of Israel. Where the other nations at? Why they're not in a ruling seat judging, right? And they're going to be judging the 12 tribes of Israel, right? And who's going to be under the 12, right? David, and then the 144,000, right? Which we can see dealing with prophecies, right? It was something I was just thinking in my head. Where is it? It's in there. I can't get it out. Where is it? I'm thinking of it. Where is it? Where is it? It's in my head. Is this it? Let me see if this is the one I want. Revelations 21. Nah, this is not the one I want, but I'll read verse 3 though. This Revelations 21 verse 3, it says, And I heard a great voice out of heaven saying, Behold, the tabernacle of God is with men, and he will dwell with them, and they shall be his people, and God himself shall be with them and be their God. Right? So starting with a nation or starting with a people, the Lord is dealing with the men first. Right? Don't get your panties in a bunch, sisters. Hey, brothers, don't get upset. The men is the tabernacles of that nation. Right? They're the foundation that the Lord is ordering, trying to put in order under Yahushua. Right? It's the men. Right? Before I go to Amos 9 and 11, I'm going to go to Ezekiel 34. This is Ezekiel 34 and verse 31. Real quick. It says, "And ye my flock, the flock of my pasture, are men, and I am your power, saith Yahweh Shemashai power." When you go to Numbers, you find out that the Lord set men as the head of the congregation, right? I got to look up because the camera there, I'll be feeling like I'm looking down. The men are the head of the congregation, right? What I was saying, I said Amos 9:11. I just had to prove that fact that men is the head of the congregation. This is Amos 9:11, dealing with the tabernacles of men. What tabernacle is the Lord dealing with? In that day will I raise up the tabernacle of David that is fallen. Right? We've been falling from time and time again, but the biggest fall is the falling away. What is it? Second Thessalonians? No. Yeah, Second Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 3. The falling away. And then the son of perdition is going to be revealed. When is he going to be revealed? When we start to wake up. The Lord is raising us up right now first through the Spirit. This is like through the Spirit our first resurrection, right? Being reborn again. Better words. We're being reborn again. How? By the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, where we're standing 10 toes down for the Lord and we got that breath of life. That's the only way we're able to understand what's going on in these scriptures. So the tabernacles of David that is fallen, and closed up the breaches thereof, and I will raise up his ruins, and I will build it as in the days of old. Wait, hold on, wait a second. And when you think about the tabernacles of David, all the other nations were under subjection under David, man. So how can this be talking about the other nations getting salvation? Back to Acts chapter 1, verse 6 in the NLT. So when the apostles were with Yahushua, they kept asking him, Lord, has the time come for you to free Israel and restore our kingdom? They're talking about being free. People say that we're not slaves right now. Oh, Israel wasn't in captive back then. They were free because of Yahushua. This is talking about something different being free. You know, we're free from the bondage of sin, let alone we're free from not knowing. You know, for Yahushua to come, and this whole time we was doing what we was doing, and then the Yahushua starts speaking, and then you got some saying, yo, that's the Son of Man, that's the one that Moses was speaking about. And look at us now. These things that were written was written for our learning, where we're going book, chapter, verse, hitting precept upon precept to understand Israel have to get back to remembrance of who they is. How we going to get the kingdom if we don't know who the hell we is? How we going to get freed? How we going to get restored if we don't know who the hell we is? Right? Right now is a huge gathering. You know? This is Genesis 49. I'm going to read verse 1 first. Genesis 49 verse 1, it says, Jacob called unto his sons and said, gather yourselves together, that I may tell you that which shall befall you in the last days. Dropping down to the point that I want, verse 10, it says, the scepter, which is authority, just like a shepherd, right, who moves the herd, right, the sheep, the flock of the sheep. It says, shall not depart from Judah. So authority is not going to depart from Judah, starting with Yahushai, nor a lawgiver from between his feet. That's why Judah is the first one to be established in this faith. Regardless if you accept it or not, Judah is the first, right? It says, until Shiloh come, and unto him shall the gathering of the people be. That Shiloh is Yahushai. And right now, it's a gathering right now, and this is another thing. To truly be in this thing, even though there's levels to it, some people are still teaching the name Jesus. To truly level in this thing, you have to teach and pray in the name of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. I'm not saying I'm better than anybody. I'm not the best. I wasn't here for 20 years, 40 years. But when you get in these things and you understand in the scriptures, where in the time of the Acts, you know, they was telling them, don't teach in that name. What name? Was it Jesus? No, Jesus came later on. They was teaching in the name of Yahushua, right? So that's very important that you must know, right? And then we was reading in Amos 9:11 that he was going to restore the order that was back then in the beginning, right? That's the order of the sons of God, the order of the fathers, the order of the 12, right? The order of the judges, the orders of the apostles, the prophets, the evangelists, right? The Lord set up the order, right? Let's go to Isaiah 1 in actual 26. This is what it reads. It says, and I will restore thy judges as at the first, and thy counselors as at the beginning. Afterward, thou shalt be called the city of righteousness, the faithful city. So the Lord is bringing back the judges. Who's the first judge? Yahushua, David, the 12, and then 144,000. Right? The Lord is bringing them back. What did May say? Welcome back. The Lord is bringing that order back. Right? And look how he do when it comes to the teaching of the ministry. Is in 1 Corinthians. You can go to Ephesians chapter 4, verse 11 too. But this is 1 Corinthians chapter 12, starting at verse 26. It says, whether one member suffer, all the members suffer with it. Or one member be honored, all the members rejoice with it. Now ye are the body of Hamashiach, and members in particular. And God hath set some in the church, first apostles, secondarily prophets, thirdly teachers, after that miracles, the gifts of healing, helps, governments, and diversity. Salaki, I bit my tongue. Diversities of tongues. It's different orders in the Lord's church, right? Let me just get this Ephesians, just to make it even more clear. Ephesians, the 4th chapter, verse 11. It says, he gave some apostles and some prophets and some evangelists and some pastors and teachers for the perfecting of the saints, for the work of the ministry, for the edifying of the body of Hamashiach, till we all come in the unity of the faith and of the knowledge of the Son of God, unto a perfect man, unto the measures of the stature of the fullness of Hamashiach, that we henceforth be no more children tossed to and fro, carried about with every wind of doctrine, by the sleight of men, and the cunning craftiness whereby they lie in wait to be deceived. Now we're dealing with Israel. So when you deal with the apostles and the prophets, all of them came out of Israel, and they were supposed to order and feed and teach the children of the Lord, baptize them with that fire and the Rakak Kodash, which is cleansing them with the word, man. Right? What is that? St. John 15 and 3. Right? And how are we cleansing y'all? Because this ever living water is flowing out of our belly. Right? 2nd Ezra, the 14th chapter, verse 48. That stream of wisdom, understanding, and knowledge is flowing through us, but you have to have the Rakak Kodash. 1 Corinthians chapter 2, verse 10 and 11. And guess what? These teachers are not going to just be let me just teach the law. You know what? Let me just teach the Psalms. They're going to try to grow, and through the Rakak Kodash, they're going to grow, and the Rakak Kodash is going to teach them all things, and then they're going to teach all things, right? People say, "Oh, you brothers don't teach the kingdom." The kingdom is not just half the stuff that y'all be speaking. Yeah, some people only just be speaking the small part. It's going to be peace. Oh, everybody's gonna love everybody, and this and that. Wait, what? You're not even getting to the other part of the kingdom. You know, dominion is gonna be taken, glorified bodies, immortality. Some people that say they Christians or believe in this, they don't believe that we're gonna have immortality. Some people believe that the kingdom of heaven is up there with the heavenly Father, which that is a heaven, but you're gonna have a glorified body, which is celestial and celestial and terrestrial, right? You're going to be able to fly out of this atmosphere, out of the firmament of the earth. You're going to be able to travel like the angels. You're going to be able to be in a chariot, right? You're going to be able to go in the depths of the oceans and the seas. You're going to be able to go to the other mansions where Christians is not teaching. Where's the other mansions? Oh, the other mansions is the houses that's in the kingdom, bro. It's going to be houses, but mansions is a big house. When you go look at earth is a big tent. It's a big house. So the Lord is making, when Yahushua said he left, he's going to prepare a place for us. The kingdom that's going to be prepared on earth is going to be prepared through our servants. So where is he going to prepare a place? right? And that all leads back to when Israel get restored, we're going to be able to benefit all those things, man, right? I'm gonna get a few more. Like I said, I don't try to hold you too much on this because we'll be here for a whole minute dealing with Israel, right? This is Isaiah chapter 9, verse 6 and 7. This is what it reads. It says, "For unto you a child is born, unto us a son is given, and the government shall be upon his shoulder." What is the government? Right? When you even go into the word world in John 3:16, which has multiple meanings, cosmos, but it goes into the word government, right? And the elect, starting with the 144,000, is the government on Yahweh's shoulder. The 12, David, the 144,000, right? On the shoulders of Yahweh. And his name shall be called Wonderful Counselor, the Mighty God, the Everlasting Father, the Prince of Peace. He's not the Father, right? Everlasting, Yahweh come from everlasting. He's the beginning and the end. He's the Father of creations. Yahweh is the Ancient of Days. He is the Father of all things, the Father of time. He is the Father. Yahweh was created, and then out of him he created the first spirits, which is the elect, and then the other angels. And then guess what? We helped him create all the other things that's seen and not seen. Yahweh is the Father of creation. That's why he's called the Father, and he is a prince, right? But it says, "Of the increase of his government and peace, there shall be no end upon the throne of David." David is an Israelite. "Upon his kingdom, to order it and to establish it with judgment and with justice from henceforth, even forever. The zeal of the Lord Yahweh of hosts will perform this." Right? Why would he need judgment if it's going to be peace and everything? Nobody's going to commit wickedness or this and this and that. Why would he have to do judgment? Because it's going to be people of a lower class. Not talking about the Israelites that's going to be greater than John the Baptist. We're talking about the other nations. The other nations were created to be servants. You know, how can we say that the other nations can keep the law where the Lord said the law was only given to Israel? If they do it, clap, clap, bravo. But in the kingdom as a whole, the other nations are going to keep the law, statutes, and commandments, right? Because they're going to be ordered, commanded to do it. Just like we're commanded to keep 44,000 laws in America, right? I'm going to read something. This is in the kingdom. This is Zechariah chapter 14, verse 16. "And it shall come to pass that everyone that is left of all the nations," this is not talking about Israel, "out of all the other nations," right, "which came against Jerusalem." You go to 1 Maccabees chapter 2 and 10. It's not one nation that did not touch the spoils of Israel. So now when we go into the nations, Genesis chapter 10, when it was breaking down all the nations, and leave Israel out, because those are the chosen, all nations which came against Jerusalem, even against Jerusalem, shall even go up year by year to worship the King, Yahweh of hosts, and to keep the feast of tabernacle. And it shall be that whosoever will not come up of all the families of the earth unto Jerusalem to worship the King, Yahweh of hosts, even upon them shall be no rain." Basically drought, right? Famine. And if the family of Egypt go not up and come not, that have no rain, there shall be a plague therewith. Yahweh will smite the heathen that come not up to keep the feast of tabernacles. This shall be the punishment of Egypt and the punishment of all nations that come not up to keep the feast of tabernacles. Who was the feast of tabernacles given to? The children of Israel, which we'll go to. You can go to the book of Leviticus. I believe Leviticus the 23rd chapter. Psalms 147, verse 19 and 20. The laws was given. This word was given to Jacob, Israel. You know, that's who this was given to. So now when we go into the kingdom, right, these nations must come back to our land, come to that high mountain to praise the Lord and to keep the tabernacles. If they don't, they're going to be dealt with. Christians don't want to deal with this. Other people don't want to deal with this. The kingdom is for the children of Israel. They're going to get their kingdom restored. Restored. Let's see if we can get this word for restored, man. Right? Because then you got to think about being reconciled. How can the other nations be reconciled to something that they wasn't a part of? I need to understand that. Okay, so the word for restoring, right? It says to restore to its former state, right? When if David had all the other nations under his power, they're going to go back to their former state being low. So how? What does this have to do anything to for them being in rulership? Right? It says to restore in health, restore home, or to restore organization. Restore again. So this place, what this is going into, is that it was something that was broken down. Now it's going to be restored. Didn't it say that Amos 9 that the Lord is rebuilding the tabernacles of David, and He's doing it with this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. He's not doing it with no Legos. He's not doing it with a stimulus check. The number one thing that has to be pushed in this world, the number one thing that has to be fed, has to be drinked daily, is the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. That's going to restore the nation of Israel. That's going to heal us. That's going to bring us back to the Lord. Let's read this in Baruch. Baruch chapter 2. A very key point. The ones that know, they know where I'm going. Baruch chapter 2, verse 30. For I knew that they would not hear me, because it is a stiff-necked people. But in the land of their captivity, they shall remember themselves, and shall know that I am Yahweh Shemashai, their power. For I will give them a heart and ears to hear, and they shall praise me in the land of their captivity, and think upon my name. What is his name? Yahweh, and his son's name is Yahweh Shai. And return from their stiff neck and from their wicked deeds, for they shall remember the way of their fathers, which sinned before Yahweh Shemashai, and I will bring them again into the land which I promised them in oath, and unto their fathers Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Those are chosen names. But people want to talk about let's go to Romans. Well, it wasn't the sons of the flesh, but it's the ones of the promise. This is how you know the other nations. The other nations wasn't promised this. Then we got to go all the way back. This is why we go back into the basics. Abraham had other sons. What, 7 sons? He had other sons, but Isaac was called. And then Isaac's seed was the one that was chosen. Jacob, to bring back the mindset of what? Cain and Abel. That's that same spirit. Cain and Abel, the righteous and the unrighteous. Y'all really don't understand this story because the Lord gave you a strong delusion. This is a very deep book. Black, Latino, Hispanics, and natives. For once in your life, you need to actually look and be like, dang, God chose our nation over anybody. Yeah, we never knew this. We never could consider it. You can a lot of people outside of talking about God, they'd be like, man, our nation is the best basketball player. We're the best soccer player. We're the best baseball player. We got the best looking girls. But as soon as you say, you're the Most High's favorite nation on the whole earth. Nah, brother. So let's just get this. You can keep reading on Baruch if you want. I'm going to give you this. And there's no defuting this, but I know if you're not of the faith, of course you're going to defute it. But that's okay, because I'm not here to make anybody, and I'm not here to make anybody believe anything I'm bringing out. I'd rather you believe the Lord and not me. So this is 2nd Esdras, a priest, of Israel. 2nd Esdras chapter 5, and I'm going to go straight to the point. Verse, I think I'm going to read it here because I want to make sure it's giving me every word. 2nd Esdras chapter 5, going to verse 23. This is what it says. I'll start at 20 just to show you how real this is, because he's fasting and angels dealing with him. It says, and so I fast 7 days. I'm starting at verse 20. I fast 7 days, mourning and weeping, like as Yorel, the angel, commanded me. And after 7 days, so it was that the thoughts of my heart, that the thought of my heart were very grievous unto me again, and my soul recovered the spirit of understanding. And I began to talk with the Most High again, and said, O Lord, that bearest rule of every wood of the earth, and of all the trees thereof, thou hast chosen thee one only vine, which is Yahushai. And of all the lands of the whole world, thou hast chosen thee one pit, that land is Israel, Yasharallah, right? That just shows you pit means land, right? It says, and of all the flowers of all the flowers thereof one lily, and of all the depths of the sea, thou hast filled thee one river. Now I know some people are like, oh, see, the Lord got to favorite this. Now, if you agree with this, let's continue to agree what the Lord's favorite is. And of all builded cities, thou hast hallowed Zion unto itself. So the Lord only hallowed Zion out of all the lands of the whole earth. He hallowed it, made it a holy land. So Mecca is not a holy land. Men say it's holy, right? It says, and of all the fowls that are created, thou hast named thee one dove. That's his favorite. It says, and of all the cattle that are made, thou hast provided thee one sheep. Why you think Yahushua is described as a sheep? Why is the nation of Israel described as sheep? We'll just keep it going. It says, among all the multitudes of people, a multitude of people, when you break them down in sections, they are a nation. The Elamites, the Edomites, but when you break the multitude of people into the category of their nation, the multitudes of people, thou hast gotten thee one people. So out of all people, he has gotten one people. He has chosen one people. Unto this people whom thou lovest, so he loved these people. To love is a deed, is an action, and it's a truth. So out of all the multitude of people, is one people he chosen, and is one people he loved. Thou gavest a law that is approved of all. So these one people that he loved, he gave them a law. Psalms 147 verse 19 and 20 just proves it for us. Second Ezra chapter 3 verse 34 to 35, it tells you that his name is only found in Israel, and only Israel kept his precept. When you go into the interlinear of precept, it means law. So how the heck is we talking about the Lord when the salvation comes, the other nations is going to get salvation? Hold on, wait a minute. Let me get these last few, and then I'm going to let you guys go, man. I'm going to try my best. This is Wisdom of Solomon chapter 5 verse 1 and 2. It says, then shall the righteous man stand in great boldness before the face of such as have afflicted him, and made no account of his labors. When they see it, they shall be troubled with terrible fear, and shall be amazed at the strangeness of his salvation, so far beyond all that they looked for. Who book is this? This is Solomon. Solomon is talking about Israelites, really talking about the descendants of Jacob's strange salvation. I want to go look up the word salvation. Salvation. Right? Let's look at this. Because if it's a strange salvation, I'm about to go to a precept that I've been quoting for the past few days in 2 Kings. And I know the ones that know that y'all with me. Y'all with me today. Oh, Salaki, I just did the wrong thing. I think I just did the wrong thing. Hold on 1 second. Okay. Salvation. Salvation means deliverance. Deliverance. You go to Luke chapter 1, which is very beautiful for the point of deliverance. 68 down, the Lord raised up a horn, which is a power, a king in a kingdom, which is Yahushai, right? And he spoke through our prophets since the world began that he was going to save us from our enemies. But hey, that's not the point I want to go to. This is what I want to go to. This is Second Kings, because if it's going to be a strange salvation, we just read it in Wisdom of Solomon, strange salvation. Go outside, the UAPs that y'all call the UFOs, yeah, UFOs, right? A strange salvation. How does that look? Yes, Israel had a strange salvation, but they walked out. Yes, they were delivered from their enemies by the Red Sea splitting and they going through and then they closed. That was strange. But the Lord is speaking about this strange salvation right here. How is this going to happen? And I got multiple accounts, but I'm going to just bring this one out. This is Second Kings chapter 2, verse 10 to 12. 12 is the point. Pay attention closely. Use both of your ears. The Lord gave you two ears and one mouth, right? Shalom, shalom to everybody that's in here. Salaki. Oh, wait, hold on. I think a brother just dropped a preset while I was. I don't want to miss the brother preset. You know. Don't want to do it. Deuteronomy 4:6, real quick. Deuteronomy 4:6. The brother said, "Keep therefore and do them." Outside at 5. It says, "Behold, I have taught you statutes and judgments, even as Yahweh my power commanded me, that ye should do so in the land whither ye go to possess it. Keep therefore and do them, for this is your wisdom and your understanding in the sight of the nations, which shall hear all these statutes and say, surely this great nation is a wise and understanding nation." Look, what does Gentile mean? Nations. This just said one nation. It said great nation. So now we're talking about this peculiar nation that was given this law. What we just read in Second Ezra, the 5th chapter. They was given a law that he told that we must do. And the other nations is going to look at us and say we're a wise nation. Right now they're not seeing it, but the elites is trembling. Revelations 11:11, they're trembling because we're waking up. But back, let's go back. Wisdom of Solomon 5:2. Remember, strange salvation. The nations they were in fear, looking at the strange salvation. Remember that. Oh, the brother dropped another priest. I'm sorry, y'all. I gotta go to it. Hold on, this brother getting quick over there. This is Baruch 4:3. It says, "Give not thy honor to another, nor the things that are profitable unto thee to a strange nation." Right? We can't give this to another nation. Then when you go down to verse 4, it says, "O Israel, happy are we, for things that are pleasing to God are made known unto us." When the hell have they been known to the other nations? Help me to help you, right? When you go into Second Ezra that I was just speaking of, no other nation knew the name of the Lord. This is why the name Yeshua, Yahweh, Yahweh ben Yahweh, Yu-Gi-Oh, or Yahya, Jesus Christ, Israel wasn't saying those names. Guess what? We're saying them now, but it says only his name is found in Israel. Don't you know there's other nations saying Jesus, saying Yeshua, Yatua, saying Yahya, saying Yahweh, saying Jesus, and all these other names? No other nation as a whole is saying Yahweh or Yahweh Shai. Let me just get that real quick because I just quoted it. Don't forget strange salvation. Don't forget strange salvation because I'm going to get you real quick. This is 2nd Ezra chapter 3 in verse 34. It says, "Weigh thou therefore our wickedness now in the balance, and there's also that dwell in the world, and so shall thy name nowhere be found but in Israel. Or when was it that they which dwell upon the earth have not sinned in thy sight? Or what people have so kept thy commandments? However, thou shalt find certain people in Israel who have kept thy commandments, but thou shalt not find any among the heathen." So his name is only found in Israel, and only Israel was keeping the commandments of the Lord. So how do we go in the New Testament? We like, oh, the other nations. It doesn't make sense. And even in the New Testament, the other nations didn't know the name of the Lord. Because half of you people that is teaching it, you're saying Yeshua, Yahuwah, Yatutu, or you saying Jesus. You're not even fully edifying. That's how we can identify you don't have the Rakakwadash in you. Because the deep things in the scripture is the easy thing. The name. When you try to wake up an Israelite, what do you wake them up to first? Who they are. You are an Israelite. Then you wake them up to the name of the Father. I end my case with that. So 2 Kings chapter 2, just to go into the strange salvation, verse 10 to 12. In the KJV, he said, Thou hast asked a hard thing, nevertheless. If thou see me when I am taken from thee, it shall be so unto thee. But if not, it shall not be so. And it came to pass as they still went on and talked, that behold, there appeared a chariot of fire and horses of fire, and parted them both asunder, and Elijah went up by a whirlwind unto heaven. Elisha not shocked. This is a phenomenon. No, they understand because of their ancient forefathers was speaking of these chariots. And Elisha saw it, and he cried, My father, the chariot of Israel, the horsemen thereof. And he saw him no more, and he took hold of his own clothes, and rent them in two pieces. This is how the elect is going to act when the Lord comes, especially when they get beamed up. They're not going to be terrified. They're not going to be dismayed at the signs that's in the heavens, because they're going to know what is what and be like, you know what? That's a chariot of the Lord. And it said a chariot of the Lord is a horse of fire, because horse represents power. When you get a Hemi truck, oh man, horse don't mean power. Then why the hell they call it horsepower? I'm looking at them like this. They like, man, horse don't mean power. Why do they call it horsepower in your car? You got a Hemi? This got 400 horsepower. Ain't no such thing as horse with power. You want to know why why you call it horsepower? When horses have power in their legs. This is why they run for longevity. So the chariots is an example of a horse. A chariot of fire, because of the light, the aura that they have on them. Horses of fire, they are a power, right? And it says the chariot of Israel. That's another indication. How is the other nations getting salvation if it's supposed to mean to be delivered? We can go to Ezekiel, the 36th chapter. Oh man, I did say that was the last one. Hold on. I'll use this one as my closing. Salaki, I'm getting too excited over here, man. It's Ezekiel 36, and I think I want 24. Yes, this is Ezekiel 24. It says, For I will take you from among the heathen, and gather you out of all countries, and will bring you to your own land. So if the other nations can say, why is he telling you, I'm gonna take you from among the heathen and gather you out of all countries? How is he gonna do this? Salaki, I had to, because of the spirit, man. I had to. Matthew 24 and verse 31. I'll start at verse 30. It says, And then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven, and then shall all the tribes of the earth mourn, and they shall see the Son of Man coming in the clouds of heaven with power and great glory. This is not talking about the literal clouds. It's talking about the chariot that is a cloud. Because a cloud can shape in different ways. It's just a metaphor. Because the power of the Lord, the chariot can be small, it can be big, it can be long. The chariots are going to block the sky. It's going to be multiple. He said his angels are thousands and thousands. His chariots is thousands and thousands. Verse 31, it says, He shall send his angels with a great sound of a trumpet, and they shall gather together his elect from the four winds, from one end of heaven to another. What you think? One angel at a time is coming, let me get you, let me get you. No, they're going to come down with those horses, with those chariots of Israel, and they're going to collect Israelites. It doesn't matter, light skin, white skin, brown skin, dark skin, Israelites of the faith, truly of the faith, are going to get beamed up. The ones that died in the name of Yahweh Shema Shai, they're going to be with him on the chariots. So again, Acts chapter 1, and I only just did the part of restoring Israel. I kind of went a lot of places. This is Acts 1 and 6. It says, when they therefore were come together, they asked him, saying, Lord, wilt thou at this time restore again the kingdom of Israel? And I really just showed a small example of restoring Israel, right? Gathering us back from the nations. But before that, this is the right now we're in that situation of being restored by getting cleansed, by coming back into the wisdom knowledge of Yahweh Shema Shai. That's the first way we're getting restored, coming back into the knowledge. That's like a phone. The phone is dead or the phone needs an update. You update it and then it get back to working smoothly. We're getting updated with the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of Yahweh Shema Shai. So Lord willing, this is edifying to the sheep, you know. So I'm gonna give all praises to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Rakakwadash. And with that, Shalom.